Hello friends! Today we are in downtown Tampa, and right now we're at a familiar site, the Riverwalk. If you want to see a detailed video of the Riverwalk, you can check it out at the card in the upper right of your screen. Hopefully GoPro doesn't mess up with me with the mirroring of this video. But in today's video, we're just kind of take a look around downtown Tampa. I'm going to show you some of the sights to see, give a few restaurant and drinking place locations, and just try and get some good footage of downtown. Hope you enjoy it. Our first stop is at another familiar site. This is Curtis Hickson Park. This is an area really popular for just hanging out outdoors, getting some sunshine. There are some concessions here. You have that snack bar right there. Has all the usual snack bar stuff, drinks, popsicles, things like that to help with the Florida heat. And then there are some fun things for kids around here. You can see right here there's a water pad that kids can play in the water, and adults like me. People who are kids at heart, I guess. And you have this big lawn area right here where there's some platforms that people do yoga on and exercises and stuff like that. But the area is just a really popular area for events, things like that. There are even some exercise groups that meet up here to do yoga as a group. And I've even seen some dance classes being held here. So it's a very active area with locals and tourists alike. Okay, I swear this is the last repeat I do in this episode. But I'm going to give you a closer look of the Tampa Museum of Art. I think this is just a beautiful building. Okay, time for new stuff. Let's go. Lastly, at Curtis Hickson Park, you have this larger splash pad right here, which is turning off the second I take a film of it. But this is just a larger splash pad, really popular with families in the summertime. Personally, I love to ride through it in the summertime on my bicycle. It's just a great way to cool off when you're going for a long bike ride. We're now approaching the Florida Museum of Photography. And as expected from a museum, it's just absolutely beautiful. But this is another place that I just haven't found myself going to yet. I see plenty of events that are going on here, but I just don't find myself coming down here for anything. But it's on my bucket list. Hopefully not an actual bucket list, but something to do soon. Passing by Hat Tricks, which is the official bar of the Tampa Bay Lightning, which is our hockey team. You can see a quick peek of the front right here. Pretty good place, kind of average overall, but the feel there during hockey games is just so much fun. Way high energy. Be warned that it is the official place to watch Lightning games at a sports bar, so do be warned that it does get extremely busy during Lightning games. Get there early. That would be my advice. We're gonna head into a really pretty walkway that's in between the Hilton Hotel in downtown Tampa and the city center building. It's very nice, very green compared to the rest of the city. we are going to take a spin through this corner of Franklin and Madison Street. That's where it starts, but it's kind of a 3-block square area. So right here we have some health food place. I'm not sure why you would eat that kind of stuff, but to each their own. We have a little Mexican fast food place here called Taco Bus. It's pretty popular here in the Tampa area. I've actually never been there, so I think I'm going to go ahead and give that a quick review later on this afternoon. We've just gotten to one of my favorite places in downtown. This is a place called Cava Culture. So if you haven't heard of it, there's not that many places in the country that this is popular. The only ones that I know of right now are Florida and Colorado. But it's these two types of teas that get served to this cava bars. It's cava and kratom. And Florida is one of the only states where it's popular to get it pre-prepared in a bar-like setting. It's very popular with people who are trying to, or trying to quit drinking, because those two drinks, I think it's especially cava, that it really helps people cut down on their alcohol consumption. And I don't like cava. I don't care for it. It tastes like potting soil to me. You can add stuff to it to make it a little more palatable. But I do like kratom. And kratom comes in different colors. You can get it in green, white, and red generally. Some places do their own custom mixtures. But it's much more palatable. You can get syrups in it, make it taste a little better. And it can be relaxing or stimulating. But again, both kava and kratom are both just good alternatives to alcohol if you're trying to cut down on your consumption, or you have to for your health. Right now, we're in front of a very popular restaurant here in downtown Tampa called Dio. It's a Mediterranean restaurant. This is a very historically significant place for Tampa. This is the Tampa Theatre. There's been a lot of famous events that have happened here. It's been around. Well, let's try and read this plaque and see if we can figure out when it was made. 1938. We've arrived at this is my favorite restaurant in all of Tampa Bay. This is the Gin Joint. It's a modern American place. What I get there when I go there are the crab cakes and the fried soft shell crab, and it is absolutely dynamite. When you get a drink there, it's perfect every time. First try, it's just amazing. If you're wanting to go there on a Friday or a Saturday, you are definitely going to want to book in advance. It's extremely popular, but it is popular for a reason. It is fantastic. I think that's enough of the classy places. On the other end of the spectrum, we have the Hub Bar. This is one of my favorite places here in downtown. Super relaxed, really quiet. The biggest negative of the Hub is the smell. The men's room doesn't have a actual sewer system. It's just a trough you piss in that's full of ice. So when you walk into the Hub, you're going to be struck with a really strong smell of urine. But once you get used to it, it's not a big deal. I don't know how much it bothers you.
Hey! You guys picking up the girls on the way out?
And this is on the corner of Polk and Franklin. Highly recommended. If you like dive bars, highly recommended. Fancy car, fancy car. Lamborghini Huracan, very nice. In Tampa, at least in Tampa, I don't know if this is a national chain or not, but we have these grocery stores called Duckweed. Yeah, Duckweed Grocers, Duckweed Urban Grocery. And I've never been inside one, so we're gonna go ahead and try and do a quick walkthrough. That was disappointing. I thought those Duckweed groceries were a little more fancy pants, weird goofy drinks, weird goofy food kind of places, but it was all kind of standard stuff. I've shown you a high-end kind of range at the gin joint and a low range at the Hub, but if you're looking for just kind of a regular old bar, I would highly recommend Paddy Wagons right here. I like this place because they have that big, nice open patio, and you can get out in the Florida air, and it's very refreshing in the summertime because it has some shade. I am feeling the need for a little pick-me-up, so we're gonna head back to Coffee Culture and go and have a kratom. Chill out. Alright, we got the goods. I got a green kratom, which is generally used for being more of a pick-me-up, give you higher energy. And I got a kratom that's called a churro kratom. So basically put cinnamon and I'm not sure what else. It makes it taste like a churro basically. And what I do is I get it with almond milk and it ends up tasting like a Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So kratom does give you a little bit of a buzz. It's nothing like alcohol, and I would say that kratom has a smaller effect on you than kava does. Kava tends to get you feeling a little loopy. I've gotten a little I've been convinced to do kava a few times, and I don't care for the way it makes me feel, and I really don't like the taste. But I like kratom because it gets you a little bit of a buzz. Nothing dangerous or anything. It doesn't impair you or anything. And one thing I like is that you get kind of the bar atmosphere. Like personally, I've been trying to drink less in my life. And that's something I really like about kava and kratom bars. They kind of get the bar atmosphere, but you don't get the stupid stuff so much. We've arrived at a very notable location, which is my favorite pizza place. In my opinion, the best pizza in Tampa. This is Eddie and Sam's. I prefer to keep this channel relatively positive, but if there's something that I just simply can't recommend, I am gonna say it. So right now I'm in front of Spain restaurant. I've been there about 3 times for work. Don't go there. It's really, really salty. It's like cafeteria style. The food quality, in my opinion, is very low. I would not recommend that place. On a more positive note, I can give 2 good restaurant recommendations right here in the same place. So we're here on the corner of Tampa and Madison. And right across the street from me, there's a French restaurant called Chez Fabi. It's a breakfast and lunch place, and it is extremely tasty. Crepes, other French things I can't pronounce, but it's very, very good. I can highly recommend Chez Fabi. As the sequel, we also have Urban Cantina right here. As Tampa Mexican places go, that's pretty close to as good as it gets. I can think of a few outliers that are better, but I'm from the West, and that's one of the closer places. That's one of the Mexican places that's closer to the Western style Mexican food or the American Mexican food that we're used to in the US. Every fiber of me really wants to drop by Eddie and Sam's and get a slice of pizza. But we're gonna be daring, and I'm gonna try this taco bus place that we saw before and give them a shot. So I'm gonna drop in there and get some food. We're gonna go find a place to hang out and do an impromptu little food review. First food review ever on the channel, so we're breaking ground. I am in possession of the food. I got a pork torta. We have returned back to our starting point of Curtis Hickson Park. We're going to do a little food review here on this pad for doing things. I think it's mostly made for sunbathing and doing exercises on. But here's a visual on the torta that I got. So what a torta is usually a cornbread sandwich, and you can get it with any kind of mixture of stuff. I never heard it's exactly corn, but whenever I've eaten one, it's a very cornbread-like consistency, so I assume it's corn. But here's a visual on it. Looks pretty standard. I have no particularly good way of filming myself eating this. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a few minutes and get a bite to eat, and I'll give you my report. All right, got that torta down. Overall assessment, pretty good. The ingredients were very tasty. It was very basic torta. It had pork, lettuce, tomato, onion, cilantro, mayonnaise, and a little bit of their special sauce. The major issue with it was way too much mayonnaise, like a comical amount of mayonnaise. It was just dripping out everywhere. Okay, I have one last, almost a must if you're gonna be in Tampa for a little bit. This is the Gen X Tavern. So what the Gen X Tavern is, if you couldn't tell by the name, it's an 80s themed bar. And it is so much fun. There's video games you can play. There's like an N64 and an NES and maybe a Super Nintendo. But it's very, very much fun. In some ways it can be almost a little bit hokey because they really go over the top with it. But that's also kind of some of the fun part. It's kind of fun to be over the top. But all of their beer taps are models of 80s cartoons and 80s movies characters, and it's super fun. So if you're in Tampa, this is my last recommendation, is Gen X Tavern. Definitely come and see this. It can be a little busy on Fridays and Saturdays, but generally it's not too bad to get in. If you're finding yourself thinking whether you should stay in St. Petersburg downtown or Tampa downtown, I can give you a pretty simple answer. You should definitely stay in St. Petersburg downtown. St. Pete for short. It is better than Tampa in every way. There's a small beach there. There's a very fun pier and outdoor area. There's way more restaurants to go to. There's more shopping there. And it's just, St. Petersburg downtown is way more fun than Tampa downtown. Tampa downtown is very business oriented. It's much more busy during the daytime of the weekdays than it is on the weekends. Like, this is a Saturday that I was here, and it wasn't particularly busy. There's just not a whole lot to do in downtown Tampa. It's fun to live near, because there is enough to do that it's fun. But if you're going to be spending a week here and you have no rental car, you're going to get really, really bored here. Unless all you care about is, you know, sipping Mai Tais by the pool, then you're all sorted. But in conclusion, if you're debating whether to go to downtown Tampa or downtown St. Pete for your vacation, or whatever reason you're having to consider that, St. Petersburg 100%. That concludes our little unprofessional tour of downtown Tampa. Here's a look at downtown Tampa from a little bit different of a view. Well, I think I gave a good little summary of the downtown area, the pluses, the minuses of it, and if you decide to come down here, hopefully you'll try some of the places that I featured in this video. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you tune in next time. See ya!